Proficiency scales are a key component of establishing learning goals, tracking student progress, and celebrating student success. Essentially, a scale is a tool that displays a collection of related statements and target scores of learning for determining the current level of performance. The key, of course, is to know where to start. For us here in Texas, we start with our readiness standards, and maybe not even all of those. Each standard becomes a proficiency scale. The readiness standard itself is your target score at 3.0, whereas the skills in the standard become part of the prerequisites in score 2.0. This is where the vocabulary and prior knowledge in the way of basic processes belong. You can turn these skills into your learning target. Remember that we can have both declarative and procedural knowledge in these goals. Once you know the learning target, you can design learning activities to help students reach those learning goals. While it's important to use the full proficiency scale with students, a generic scale can be a useful tool as you have students rate their understanding and progress. That might look a little like this, although there are plenty of other variations out there. Based on your scale, you'll want to create formative assessments to measure student learning along the way. Think of this as the wet concrete analogy. It's easier to correct misunderstandings earlier rather than later. Once you know what students are learning, it's easier to create a summative assessment to show what students know. And why? Because tracking student progress has an effect size of 34 percentile gains. Of course, this idea of tracking student progress really is key. Here are a couple of examples you might want to consider. You can also track whole class progress using an average or track growth on the proficiency scale rather than mastery at a certain level. And as always, we're here to help. If there's anything we can do to help you implement proficiency scales in your classroom, let us know. Use the QR code to access our ASOP menu and request our support.